Hello and welcome back to Resident Evil 0. I do want to say, before I begin chatting at you guys, a very sincere thank you very much for coming out and watching this video as you guys have been. I really appreciate it. In fact, I've really enjoyed a lot of the comments and advice that I've been getting. Most of the advice has been behind the scenes. I have some friends who watch this and say, hey, you should try it this way, or I look to get some advice for how I want to do stuff. Like today, for instance, I got lost very much playing this game for this section. There will be parts where it's 4 times speed because I have no idea where I'm going. I am not looking up any guides. I am relying purely on memory and knocking around the building until I figure out where to go next. As I've said in the past, the only section of this game that I really have a very deep memory of is the train. The train section is always stuck in my head very much, and as such, the section that comes after, which is the training facility here, I got lost a lot. So you'll have to forgive me. Anytime you see 4 times speed, it's because I got lost, and I want to keep it in there so you guys can kind of really experience this game with me. But at the same time, not experience the same time that it took me to play this game. Last video you probably saw, I chose to put Rebecca in her nurse costume and Billy in the Cody outfit, mostly because that's the only outfit left for Billy to wear, and the nurse costume is really funny to me. It's supposed to be like, I guess, like a sexy nurse or whatever, but at the same time, the skirt clips things or through things a lot because they didn't really program it in. They just put it on as a skin. So, like, you'll see that the walkie-talkie is just kind of sitting there, half in and out of the skirt at shots, or she'll put the gun down to the side and her arms disappear into her skirt instead of pressing on the skirt. I know what costume I'm going to be wearing next time when I do my next recording. And it'll be another t-shirt, one of my favorites. And yeah. Anyways, again, thank you very much for being here. I try not to say it on these videos, but, you know, go ahead and leave a comment, a like, and if you guys are first time here, go ahead and subscribe. I do put out these videos every Tuesday and Thursday for Resident Evil 0 right now. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday are toy reviews, and Sunday I try to do a live for a little bit playing on the Switch. And the last few days, well, since I started doing the Switch stuff, the gentleman who joins me is a guy named Leroy, and we play together. And last time you guys kind of heard him over my chat feature thing that I pulled up. He is a awesome dude, and I'm very happy to be able to play with him on the weekends. And you know, hopefully I'll be able to do that with more of you guys as maybe this kicks up. Anyways. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about some of the stuff that I wanted to speak about during this video. I didn't really do a lot of trivia. I did write 3 partial scripts for this video, and none of them felt right. I talked a bit about Capcom's history as a company in one of them, and that will end up coming out. I'll end up finishing these up, but I wasn't feeling them. I talked a little bit about the game Resident Evil Gaiden, and that didn't feel right. The reason why I ended up not putting that one out is, even though it ties better into last week's trivia, it's why I was going to do it. I don't know a lot about this game, and I looked up some stuff, wikis, all, you know, developer interviews that I could find here and there. I'm watching the game right now, actually. I'm watching Long Play. What was it? What was that channel's name? I have it written down here. Yeah. So I'm watching World of Long Plays play Resident Evil Gaiden, so I can get a better feel for the game, and it looks very interesting. I wish I had picked it up when it came out. At the same time, I'm kind of glad I didn't. It's odd. I'm going to put up, when I do talk about it, I'm going to put up some screenshots in that for the game, so you guys can get a better feel for how it looks. It was a Game Boy Color game, and I didn't talk about that last time. Like I said, we'll talk about it more when I actually talk about the game itself, but I wanted to watch somebody play the game so I could get a better feel for how the game functions. Besides somebody on a wiki saying it plays this way, you know. The last thing I was going to do was partial script-wise was I started talking about the magazine comics that I own, and I decided those would fit better in a later video, not dealing with Resident Evil 0, with like Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2, since they fit timeline better into that section than they do with 0. So, what am I going to talk about? Well, a couple different things. I don't want to do trivia. I'm not in the mood for trivia, and that's part of why the Capcom stuff got dropped. I just didn't want to do another trivia episode today. Instead, let's talk about my interactions with Resident Evil 0 when it came out. Now, I did pick up this game when it first released in 2002 for the GameCube. I don't believe I picked it up at release. I think I waited a little bit to pick it up. But I do recall walking to the local GameStop, which is about 2 miles down the road, in that year, to pick it up with a friend of mine. I think he was getting a controller or something like that, so we decided just to go up together and pick it up. And we got home and made plans to do our group gathering to play the game. This game has the same graphical qualities that Resident Evil Remake had. And I recall the fact that the group of friends and myself, we were floored by these graphics at the time. And even playing this game now, I'm very, you know, even though it has that HD polish on it now, right? I'm still very surprised at the level of realism these graphics can pull, in a sense. They look good. And for a game to look this good still to this day is amazing to me. But yeah, at the time, this game looked so real to us compared to a lot of the other games we were playing at the time. Like, I think we were playing some Final Fantasy games. I think maybe X was out at the time. And, or comparing it to, you know, Resident Evil 2, Nemesis, Code Veronica, all those games that were at the time. This game looked so polished. And because of that, we got drawn into these games hard for Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil 1. Pardon me, I need to drink my coffee here. I'll cut that out. Don't worry. You won't know. But yeah, we got pulled into these games very, almost violently, with our imaginations and our want to see what's going to happen next. And that's maybe why I have such strong memories of the train section compared to the facility, where I, you know, like I said, I get lost in the facility twice in this video. You know, it's not just the fact that the train section is smaller. It's that was our introduction to Resident Evil 0. This train, this small enclosed space, and, you know, leaving a character behind, they could get attacked, and that happened more than once when we were playing, because I'd just leave someone behind, because I wasn't used to playing with somebody else behind me, like, hey, let's go, you know, you waste a bunch of ammo, and, oh, it was no good for me at the time. I enjoyed it, because it was so different to what I was used to in Resident Evil, but it also enhanced the difficulty level, because I could easily go through twice as many rounds of handgun ammo as I was used to, or maybe I forget to give somebody handgun ammo, or, you know, Billy takes a shot with a shotgun when I wasn't expecting him to, or Rebecca got left behind in a room and got eaten by his... I learned very quickly to keep my characters together in that game. I died once or twice in the train section originally. And it's not so much that the game is super difficult, right? The game is actually not that difficult as long as you don't get flustered. The moment you get flustered in any Resident Evil game, that's it generally. You that's it. Quits, done, you're dead. So I remember playing through the train section and just being wowed by the whole game. It was crazy to see zombies come back into a room for us because the only time you really saw that in the other games were Crimson Heads in the Resident Evil remake, or in Resident Evil 2. Sometimes the zombies would break through a window, and every now and then zombies would, pop back through the window, kind of deal. Give you more guys to avoid or kill. Nemesis, I don't think they generally had too many areas where enemies came back unless you ran through it too many times. And I can't recall too many areas in Code Veronica where enemies would come back once you dispatched them. But in Zero, because you had to do a lot of back and forth if you weren't sure of where you were going, it was so easy to have enemies come back. And we were floored by that. Like, oh, we cleared up this train car, we can keep... And then you come back and there's another 2 zombies. And looking at it now, it makes sense because it's supposed to be a passenger car. So there's going to be a bunch of people in the car, right? I don't think we thought about that at the time. We were just always running from zombies, always running out of ammo, or, well, me. I was always running out of ammo. So yeah, I have a lot of joyful and fond memories of the train section of this game. And even though I have a lot of fond memories of the whole game, it's that first section of the game, the first introduction to Resident Evil Zero, that has always stuck in my mind. Not even the bosses for later sections. Like the Centurion, who is the giant centipede, sticks in my mind, as well as just that first train section with the Stinger, the Scorpion guy, right? Or your first meeting with Mimicry Marcus and his head falling off on, the floor. It is those moments that make me happy to be able to bring this game to you guys, that make me happy that you are enjoying it. Because I can share them with you. Even though it might be my 50th time for that, it might be your first time that you see, Billy interacting with Rebecca, or, them entering the training facility, or the train derail. And it is my hope that even though we are leagues apart at times, that even with me just spouting trivia, instead of just kind of ripping out, being ripped on or being ribbed on and ribbing you guys back or whatever, as I would if we were all sitting together as a group, I hope that you guys have the camaraderie and have fond memories of sitting down and playing this game with a friend. Because that is what I'm trying to bring to you as I play this game and just spout stupid trivia to you, is having time with friends, no matter how far apart we may be. So again, thank you very much for coming out and watching with me. I hope you have a great day.